NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Rob's AC, the official heating and air conditioning company of the NOLA Gold. Mention the NOLA Gold next time you need a unit service for a 10% discount. Tulane Institute of Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the NOLA Gold. Also by Rhino Rugby, the official ball and equipment provider of Major League Rugby. And by Cox, true fans watch together, celebrate together, and sometimes even witness history together. Cox gets you closer to the teams you love. Cox, bringing us closer.
There's so many people hanging on the concourse.
Welcome to New Orleans, Louisiana, right here at the Gold Mine on Airline. We have a big game today between the NOLA Gold and the expansion New England Free Jacks. And we're looking forward to this game for a while. The Free Jacks won their first game against Rooney in impressive fashion. They've dropped the last three. The NOLA Gold have won one, lost one, won again, and then lost again last week in heartbreaking fashion to the San Diego Legion. Hey, let's look at the NOLA Gold starting lineup brought to you by Rob's AC. And Ian looks pretty much the same all the way across the board. Number 4 and number 5, Billy Stewart and Kyle Bailey both switched numbers, but pretty much like last week.
What Coach Osborne saw last week he must have liked, because he's a coach that's known to change things up quite a bit, but here we have a pretty much identical lineup to last week.
And quite the opposite. This is also brought to you by Rob's AC. They have 5 new starters. One guy we want to key on right here is Big Ben Landry. He's from Wisconsin Whitewater, and he is a big-time player.
That's a big get for the Free Jacks, Scott. He's a U.S. Eagle. He's big, he's strong, and it's going to be fun to watch in this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, we have a great little note about him later. Hey, by the way, Josh Smith, he is a true grinder. He was the USA Club Rugby Coach of the Year in 2017. He's worked his way all the way up right here. He's a Boston Cop as well. And Nate Osborne, we love him down here in New Orleans. The Aussie, he is one of only 2 coaches that are still remaining from the inaugural MLR season. We're getting ready for the kickoff here. Ian McNulty, take it over, please.
Well, can't overstate the importance of this game. This is the 5th game of the season for both of these teams. 2 teams here who are really looking to establish themselves. They're trying to say who they're going to be in this season, which is still young, but after 4 games now in our 5th, it's time to say who you are. Are you the team that's going to be a leader, or are you the team that's going to be scraping away all season? So we're underway. That first possession over to Free Jacks, they kicked that one away, so we got our first taste of a set piece very early. With our line out. This will be NOLA Gold's ball. Where they are on the pitch right now, they could do something interesting with this if they get the ball here in the line out.
Yeah, it's a good attacking ball position for them, Ian, at the 10.
Ball is secured. Quickly out to the backs. Looking to test the Free Jacks defense here early. Moving it across. Oh, he's got an open man there. This could be trouble for the Free Jacks. Oh, but out of touch there. Defuses what looked like a very dangerous attack.
Yeah, it looked like a reminiscent of the first game. Julian Dominguez got that try right down the side of the touch line, and they scored on a great try in the second half last year.
Yeah, but what you see here, he actually keeps the ball in play, Scott and Ian, and then it's picked up, I think, by Big Ben Landry, who then takes it into touch. Yeah, so he spills it back in, so this would be New Orleans' lineup.
Okay, good call there, Jeff. I thought that was Gold who took it out, but they keep possession here in a good, dangerous attacking position for them. Moving that ball to the backs fast. Free Jacks standing them up, causing a little disruption with that ball handling there, but it's okay. Saying play on, that went backwards. Free Jacks reorganizing their defense. Trying to blunt this momentum here that the Gold has shown. Oh,
Matt Harmon in the clear!
Ball is going wild and loose now. They've got some opportunities here, even after all that, amazingly.
Yeah, smartly Cam Dolan brought the ball to the ground to end the happy ball there, Ian, and let New Orleans set up their phases here.
Coaches on the NOLA Gold side, no doubt having an early conniption fit after that ball went loose so many times. NOLA Gold managed to keep possession. However, what looked like a very dangerous attack there has been slowed down by the Free Jacks.
Yeah, but they're just going to set up their phases, Ian, here, and just slow the ball down as you see. A couple of hit-ups, and then they're going to look for it to suck in the defenders and then move the ball into space. Just being patient here.
NOLA Gold banging on the door here at the 5.
Hold D, guys. That's good.
Free Jacks swarming in defense. Can they reorganize?
Just need to be patient here, Ian. Just be patient. Consolidate your ball. That doesn't help.
And there you have it. Turnover. Free Jacks ball. They get a little breathing room.
And that was our own Zach Striffler from last season. He was a NOLA Gold 2 straight years. He had the ball on the ground there.
Familiar names on this roster, that's for sure. Free Jacks kicking it away. They get a little bit of a break there. Not going to have a great great field position here, but for what looked like a NOLA Gold possibility of an early try, very helpful for the Free Jacks.
Hey, catch the next NOLA Gold telecast on Friday, March 13th. And that is next Friday night, by the way, when the Gold travel to face the Utah Warriors. Live coverage begins at 8 p.m. Central. And we mentioned Zach Striffler, who was the 4th leading tackler in MLR last season. He is definitely missed on this squad. We love him. And we're going to give a shout out to his dad, Mick, who I met in New York last year. Mick, I know you're watching. Enjoy the game, my friend. We just hope both sides play well, okay?
That's right.
We're not favoring any team here.
Well, luck just favored the Free Jacks, that's for sure.
Yeah, but New Orleans.
Oh, but New Orleans gets it back and loses it again in quick succession, but it's going to be taken out by the Free Jacks. So very rapid turn of events right there. The Free Jacks are able to take that ball from the line out, but not be able to do anything with it for, I believe, 2 changes of possession, and finally they took it out. So NOLA Gold's ball for another line out. I don't know if you can call this opening jitters, but we have seen not exactly the smoothest play so far here.
Yeah, it's a bit sloppy, and you know, just like you said, it's right in the first 5 minutes. It should slow down.
And NOLA Gold attacking on that left side again. Into the middle, giving them a little taste of the forwards. Free Jacks are responding, but there's an overload, and that's going to be called
Forward pass.
Forward pass.
And that one was pretty obvious.
Yes. Sometimes the angle fools you.
Yeah.
No chance with that one.
Yeah. That pass, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, this again is the style New Orleans plays. It's just kind of straight down the line, you know, just flat ball. That's the way they like to play. And they're just a little bit too, just a little bit forward. Get a player down. I'd like to see that ball go out the back a little. And what I mean by that is just use a second level.
Yeah, number 7, by the way, that's our guy, Zach Striffle. Let's hope he's okay. One of the fan favorites, certainly, if there's 2 years here in NOLA. Big-time tackler, great guy as well.
Young league, right, Scott? I mean, this is only season number 3 here, and we've seen some of the players move around. And you know, this is how fans develop across the league, not just for a team. You know, if somebody's played for your team for a little while, you see them playing on another team, you're a fan of that guy.
Hey, CST heads to the beach on Saturday, March 28th as the LSU Tigers host the Battle on the Bayou. Tune in at 2:30 as we kick off our live coverage from LSU Beach Volleyball Stadium with matchups featuring North Alabama and the UNO Privateers. I have something for you. You watch that at 2:30. Come over to the Shrine at 5 o'clock where they play the Toronto Arrows and NOLA Gold. We're going to have a big pregame for that one, so check that one out after you watch that volleyball. And back to Zach Striffle. Let's talk real quick. I mentioned his dad, Nick. He just got married, by the way, Michaela. He'd been engaged for a long time. I know he loves her, and he'd always talk about her when he was on the road. But real quick, this guy was a superstar growing up in Cleveland. Baseball, football, hockey. He was all state in everything, and he chose rugby. And this guy's been reliable. We talk about injuries. This guy hadn't had any injuries in New Orleans. 16 games last year. He played in all of them, and he had 1,000 minutes played. So you know, when he's healthy, he's on that field.
Well, we're wishing him our best right now. The staff is giving him some attention there on the pitch. Game has stopped. what we've seen so far in the opening minutes here, some good intensity, but as noted, not the smoothest play. And what did we talk about for keys for NOLA in the very beginning? It's exploiting opportunities. We've seen a few really interesting breaks that they've made. They've gotten some space, they've gotten some open pitch, but missing that that last phase, right? That last connection that could really seal the deal. We've seen some loose wild ball, and I should point out the conditions here are well nigh ideal for rugby. It's a little bit of a chill in the air, jacket weather here in South Louisiana. A little bit of a breeze, totally bone dry, beautiful pitch.
Perfect for me. I love this weather, Ian. I like winter to have a little winter to it. Those 80-degree weather, some days we get down here, not a fan of.
I think Free Jacks fans will probably laugh at this if they check the temperatures.
Yeah. That's what I was
right
laughing
now.
at. But I lived in D.C. I didn't live in Boston like you guys grew up in that area, but D.C. had enough chill as well.
Gumbo weather, we call it down here. If you have to wear sleeves, it's gumbo weather in Louisiana. Shout out to the Free Jacks fans, by the way. I know a bunch of them are watching at patios on Union Street in Boston.
Oh, my goodness.
And maybe at Re-Rise.
How much fun is that?
In Portland, Maine, for some of the Maine fans.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. This is really sad, though.
He's been down for quite some time.
You see Kyle Bailey bowling him through. I mean, Kyle's a big man. Oh, got a little buckled. Oh, he buckled under right there.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not pretty.
Looks like his knee and ankle got turned a little bit sideways there. I know Ryan Fitzgerald, the general manager of the NOLA Gold, loves Zach Striffler. Hated to see him go, and we hate this even worse. So it looks like it's an ankle situation down there, I think. Can't really get a good look there. By the way, we mentioned the 5 new starters. Ben Landry was one of them. This is his first week. He just got signed this week. And speaking of Ryan Fitzgerald, how about this? When Ryan got out of the Marines in 2007, well, he played for Ben's uncle, Uncle Joe Landry, the Milwaukee Rugby Club. And when he saw Ben, who was just a freshman in high school, he thought he was a teammate. That's how big Ben was way back when he was 14 and 15 years old.
Okay, so there's clapping going on here. He's walking off with assistance.
Let's be thankful it's an ankle or a foot rather than a knee.
Yeah, he's got his boot off, so
Likely done.
yeah, done for the day. Hopefully not anything serious. Zach's he started like 6 years ago playing D3 rugby, and he just amazing rugby player and tough guy. Playing D3 rugby in 2013 in Cleveland, and
There's a lot of Fijians, there's a Japanese player, a lot of names I need pronunciation on. So Zach took the time last night to talk to me for a half hour and make sure I get them all right.
All right, well, we're starting again here with our very first scrum of the match. Free Jacks ball. See how these packs measure up.
it's a good secondary push in by New Orleans.
Yeah. Free Jacks doing a pretty good job of holding them there. We saw a little power on the second push.
It's a very good tackle by Con Foley.
This is our first time seeing the Free Jacks attack in this match. And that ball is coughed way up.
You see, Scott, on the offensive play there by New England,
Yep.
they use the ball out the back, which they like to go to the second level. They bring down a blocker runner, use the ball in back space. Contrarily, New Orleans likes to use that ball flat down the line and hopefully hit those gaps before the defenders get there. It's a very, very distinct and different way of each offense here, and it's be interesting to see which one is more effective.
Test 2 different styles of defense, too.
Absolutely.
If they're coming at you, you've got to stop them.
And that's why Con Foley's tackle there coming over in space was really key, because there was some space there for that. I believe it was the weak side wing coming off into that 13-15 channel, Ian, and Con came, slid across and made a great tackle.
First gold scrum.
Scotty Gale throwing it in. He was obviously the fly half last season. Now he's playing scrum half, his regular position when he played in Australia and Japan.
It's a big kick. Hopefully it sits down.
Looks like it's going to go right out the back. Into your...
At the dead ball area, so that's going to be, well, it looks like he touched it down, so it didn't go through. It's going to be a 22-meter drop. It didn't go through the dead ball line, Ian, so if it had gone through the dead ball line, you would have brought it back to where Carl kicked for a scrum. So here it's just a 22 drop.
By the way, the guy you were just looking at, Bodine Waka, the 15 player right there, fullback for New England, one of my favorite names in the league. Love him. Great player as well from New Zealand.
Free Jacks get a chance to here test their defense yet again as the Gold comes attacking. Gets a little tripped up there, but still on his feet moving.
Running like Jim Brown.
He just uses his arms so well to fend off the defender. Those arms are just buzzsaws.
Get a lot more out of that run than you might have suspected.
Another good line from Matt Harmon.
Those are the big boys up front, but then quickly out to the backs. They've got some space. They've got some room.
There it is.
Gold has it on the hook. He has some support. Free Jacks able to bust that up. Can they reorganize in time to mount a defense for the attacking Gold?
Okay, now the ball's slowed down, Ian, so you just want to be patient here. Just be patient and allow the New Orleans offense to set their phases.
Good job in the Free Jacks, though, not giving up on that play. Certainly had a lot of green in front of the Gold there. Able to disrupt it, stop him.
Let them hear you. Give them your support. Be the 16th man.
In the middle of the pitch. Go either way. Feisty
play
ruck
right now, yes.
Yeah, feisty ruck pays off.
They got the ball back. Look at.
They take it and are in a key position.
Free Jacks have some room here. There's Waka.
Waka's rolling. They flipped the script on that one, that's for sure, Scott.
Great play by New England.
So far, their most dangerous attack. They've got numbers, but bounces off the hand.
Is that number 14, Powasa Wagana?
So watch what happens here in this ruck, Scott. This is where things get interesting. You've got to keep complete attention. You've got to use that ball. No guarantees. You're only borrowing that ball. Possession is a very
That's a good way to put it. Thank you.
Yeah. So the Free Jacks saw an opportunity. They poached it. They ran with it, and they well-nigh scored. They're one phase away from continuing that attack. Undone here, it'll be a scrum.
Yeah, it looks like if Walker didn't step back inside, he could have just beat Eric Howard to the try zone there. I don't know why he stepped back into the tackle, but a great poach by New England. But that's a consequence of New Orleans' offense is just not real fluid right now, Scott and Ian. I don't know. They're making some good breaks, and they're just not doing anything once they've got the Free Jacks on the back foot.
Can I make a quick comment? We'll get out of the scrum and I'll say something about those beautiful uniforms.
Yeah, classic.
The classic rugby uniform.
Beautiful. This is a good scrum for New Orleans. They got the penalty here, Ian. Let's see how the Free Jacks become unbound, and when they come unbound, that's going to be a scrum penalty to New Orleans.
That's right. First and foremost, the ref wants to see the 8 men on each side in these scrums locked together, low and tight, and once it starts coming apart like that, it's going to blow it up and award the driving team. Finds touch, picks up some good territory for the Gold. Give them a pretty interesting attacking position here.
It's a good attacking position, Ian, at the 10. You'll see this ball probably come right off the top, straight out to the backs, and see if they can find some space. New Orleans hasn't been creating many overloads. They're making some good runs through the middle, but they're not creating overloads in the subsequent phases. They need to create those overloads.
That was the birthday boy catching that line out. Cam Dolan turned 30 today.
Wins that one by his fingertips.
Even straight off your feet, there's no advantage. Obstruction in the air by Blue.
Okay, blown up. A obstruction call against New England.
So what the ref's calling there, Ian, is probably he saw the jumper from the Free Jacks pulling on Cam Dolan as he was trying to corral the football in. You can't play the man as they jump up. You have to play the ball. So it looks like he saw one of the Free Jacks guy maybe pulling an arm, pulling Cam's shoulder, which then would affect his ability to catch the ball. And it's a penalty. In New Orleans, good little nudge down there, probably about 15 meters out, Ian.
Yeah, that's right. For all of the toughness of the tackles and the hard running that you see in this game, one of the fundamentals of it, of course, is fair play. At these set pieces, at these lineouts, what the ref is looking for is, are you giving a fair opportunity, your chance to get possession of the ball, to win it?
Yeah, I would think New Orleans may come down with the ball here, get a little push on, or they could come off the top. I'm more thinking they're going to do a back maul. So you got another penalty to New Orleans there. So now Robbie Coleman can do what he wants with the football here because he's got the advantage.
Think of it as a free play.
Yeah.
You can take some risks.
And as long as that ball's moving forward, the referee's going to play that advantage, Ian. That's a good instant.
Yep, giving them an opportunity to score if they do so off of this. Gold grinding it right here in the center of the pitch. Now moving it to the backs.
Yeah, I think the ref's going to, if they don't make anything here, they're going to.
Oh, wide open there.
Call the forward pass.
Yet again, another attack undone by the forward pass.
But that's okay, Ian. I mean, you've got the playing advantage, so you bring it back.
Taking out the lifters early.
Right. So I mean, you're okay throwing that ball. Yeah, it is forward. You're throwing the forward pass there, giving it a lash because you can come back to the penalty even if it's forward, and that's what's happening here. So Carl nudges it close down. Carl Meyer puts it about 5 meters out. This is where New Orleans likes to bring this ball down and get a quick maul and drive it over, Ian.
Right, so watch for them if provided they win the ball here in the line out and then bring it down and keep it with the big boys up front and just try to march that thing over the try line.
Yeah, this will be a closer. They'll probably come up to the 4 jumper, right? That's a good little platform that came apart. Never really got solidified.
Free Jacks here have their back against the wall.
Gotta get low, Ian.
Yeah, this is a really grueling, exhausting part of defense. You can't take an eyeball off of that ball. You can't get a second break.
Who's there, guys? Who's there?
Looks like
Gold keeping it tight.
is that Dino Waldron?
That's a try. I don't know who got that quick
Looked
one.
like Dino.
Who's coming up with the ball? Yeah, that's Dino Waldron. There he is. That's your
former
prop, your number 3, who started things off in our last game with the first tries.
Yeah, I mean, pretty simple here, Ian. Just patience, pick and go. And Dino did a good job kind of throwing his eyes one way and going the other way. But that's all set up from the 2 line-out penalties, Scott.
I don't think my man Dino would call that simple. He would call that the most difficult try of the day.
I know. I mean, my point is that the Free Jacks allowed New Orleans to get down into the 5-meter zone by the 2 line-out penalties. And, you know, you can't give New Orleans has a pretty solid maul from the 5 out. They've scored a lot of tries this year, and you just can't put New Orleans or any team in that position.
Carl Meyer for the conversion. Hey, by the way, I've been with this club calling for 2 years now, for 2 seasons, and they always play close games. So these conversions, or at least the ones they lose, they're very important in the big picture of things. They're 2 points, obviously, instead of 1 like in American football. And this one looks good. There it is. 7-0.
So Dino Waldron to Carl Meyer. Setting us up for the first 7 points of the game.
Hey, it's basketball time. Don't miss the All-State Sugar Bowl LHSAA, the boys March Madness on Cox Sports Television. Catch the boys on March 13th and 14th. All the games are live right here on CST, your leader in Gulf South sports. Down in Louisiana, we call it March Madness because they have historically played the games in Lake Charles over there in the marshes. So we'll play on that, though. Basketball is near and dear to my heart, but now rugby is as well.
Well, we're glad to have you in the tribe, and it is a tribe. It's expanding all over the country with Major League Rugby.
Absolutely
Drawing
right.
in all these lifelong club guys. Great to see you. Such a wide range of fans in the stands here at the Gold Mine on Airline. College players, club players, newcomers, women, men, kids.
That's a quick line out. Good play by Bodine Walker.
Look what we got here. Free Jacks are driving.
Nice physical run there by the Free Jacks.
Yeah, the Gold was asleep, guys. You know, just got a little complacent. And the Free Jacks exploited that complacency. That's unfortunate.
That's Foley playing a little soccer.
Exciting turn there. They're struggling for it. Crowd electric.
That was a really good cleanup by Monty Tongarella. He came in and cleaned up that ruck and good support.
Looks like he's going for a kick pass. Can he get there?
Ouch, bad bounce once there for JP Luff, and he makes the tackle.
It's well played by Danny Collins out there.
Danny Collins, man, one of my favorites.
Hold, goes. No, it goes.
Free Jacks wishing they had that last attack back, doing some great stuff there until that lost possession contact. But here they are with the ball again, another chance.
Probably just going to look for an exit here, Ian.
Going to kick it away, trade for some room.
Wow.
Pick up the penalty.
So basically, Ian, there.
On blue, Scrum goal.
The Free Jacks couldn't extra. That's a great play by Con Foley, keeping that ball alive.
Yeah, see, even though that was a turnover, he was able to make hay with it.
And that's a classic clean-out by Monty Tongaweli. Hooks the back leg and gets John Poland out of that ruck. So what happened after the play continued is the Free Jacks, the ball they couldn't extricate the ball from the ruck. So it was unplayable, and because they weren't going forward, Ian, the ball then goes over to the to NOLA Gold for the scrum feed.
Hey, just on the blind that.
You hear the audio there? It's Jamie Nutt Brown, the referee today from Australia.
Blind.
This is another good attacking ball position off the scrum here, Ian. New Orleans has got a good secondary push there.
Yeah, you can see the movement.
Yeah,
Advantage.
they got the advantage. So now they can be a little free with the ball. See if they can create something like a kick pass, that we saw Jason Robinson from DC do. That's a little sloppy, yeah.
The backs did not look like they were well set up there for that ball opportunity.
Yeah, correct one, boys.
There's Carl Meyer, who's been on fire lately. He's had 3 tries in the last couple of games. He got concussed a little bit last week.
Yeah, that wasn't Carl's fault, though. I don't think he was expecting the football there. I mean, Robbie Coleman was just trying to spin it wide with the advantage, and they weren't on the same page. This is all right. Oh.
Hey.
Oh, he found, yeah. So what happened there, Ian, is he didn't find touch. He actually kicks the ball through the dead ball area in the in-goal area. So now it's going to be the Free Jack scrum back where he kicked from. That's unfortunate when you have the penalty. You want to find touch, and Carl unfortunately didn't. Kicked it through the dead ball line, so it comes back Free Jack's ball scrum.
But it is fortunate for New England as we take the hydration break. That's the water break for us Americans here. Take a look at CST Southland Conference baseball schedule. April 9th, McNeese. They take on the Privateers, and on April 15th, the Tulane Green Wave take on the Privateers again. So on April 18th, by the way, the Privateers won that last one 10-1. The Green Wave are looking for some revenge. On April 18th, it's Northwestern State and McNeese taking the field. All games are live right here on CST, your leader in Gulf South sports.
All right, 20 minutes of this game have been put in the books already, and Gold has scored once. But really, I think you have to say the dominant feature so far in the match has been these penalties and the handling errors that have undone promising attacks for both sides.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I want to say something about number 1 here. He is a Japanese legend. His name is Kinsuke Hatakeyama, and he's been playing. He's the all-time leading front rower for the Japanese in history, and he's 4th most of all time. He's got 78 caps. He was with the Japanese World Cup team in 2011 and 15. He just came back. He was injured for a couple weeks. He wasn't supposed to start today, but Tolu Fahamaki was out, so he was a late addition to the starting lineup and certainly a capable one.
All right, we're going to see them in action here right now as they're return to scrum formation to get this ball going again.
They call him Flying Yokozuna because he's very, very active for a big guy.
That's a fantastic name. Yeah, watch out for forwards who have some mobility.
By the way, that means flying prop in English.
The flying prop. Okay, good.
Flying prop.
So the penalty there is to the Free Jacks. Number 1 Gold is taking an angle on the scrum. So you got to scrum it straight across, Ian, as you know, as a front rower. And Matty Harmon went on an angle to try to get a little advantage there.
That's a good kick by the Free Jacks. Puts them right near the 22 and in a good attacking position here to see what they can do against the goal with ball in hand.
Yeah, going back to what you said, Ian, it's been a pretty sloppy game thus far. I mean, we're 20 minutes in, and It hasn't been a lot of fluidity in the game, a lot of knock-ons, but there's been some good defense too.
Certainly, yeah. Sometimes what looks like a sloppy play is the effect of intimidating defense doing its job.
Well, New England's got something going right here. See if they can capitalize.
Knocking them back, looking to poach, looking to steal that ball. They're not going to be able to.
On the body.
Free Jacks using it in the middle. Out now wide.
You're not going to tackle that guy up high, Ian. You got to take him a little bit lower.
Yes, sir. And you see what happens.
You were fine. You were
distance
good.
on that.
Number 12, you were fine. Number 12, 10, 13, sorry. 13 didn't roll. Number 11 was good.
Yeah, getting dinged for not rolling away. You got to make that tackle, then get out of the situation.
By the way, this is a return of that dynamic duo, number 12, Sam Beard, number 13, Liam Steele. They haven't played together since the Rooney game when they won that one. That is a duo to watch. They're dynamic on the field. Obviously, everybody knows Sam Beard from New Zealand, his high rugby IQ and acute field awareness, but these two are going to be two keys to the success today for New England.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what we said at the beginning. They got a lot of players returning back in the lineup from that game.
Okay, Free Jacks have the ball, looking to do what NOLA just did to them with their maul here right at the 5. Kind of bullet through. Still moving, driving Gold
Nice
back.
drive by New England. And the score! And they 7-5, and they have a chance to tie it up. Great play by the Free Jacks.
Free Jacks find their way onto the board the old-fashioned way with a good old maul from the big forwards up front. You see, they did just what NOLA did to them a few moments earlier, but was able to do it right from the throw in there.
Well, let's check it here. They just drove all the way to get that try.
So that leaping catch secures it, brings it back to his mates. Now you see where you have here, it's sort of like a mobile ruck, right? That's the ball is. Keep moving it, keep moving it. It's a careful art to this, though. As rough as it looks, you've got to maintain this position. You've got to keep the ball moving. You've got to keep the ball up. He gets it over, touches it down.
And I'm trying to see who scored that one. Was that right there, number 14? I wasn't positive. If it was, that's Poasa Waganabu. He's from Fiji.
Big ups to the Free Jacks for that try. Once they got that maul moving, it looked well nigh impossible to stop that, and NOLA Gold did not have an answer.
I was wrong. Let me give it was Nalia Duwai. Nalia Duwai, number 8. That's what I'm told. I'm hearing it might be number 9 too. They were all in there together. I think we'll give them all the try.
Well,
by the way, we say try zone occasionally for those in Australia, New Zealand. We know it's not called the try zone, but here in football happy New Orleans, Louisiana, football is king. So the people that are learning the game, end zone, try zone. But Jeff, tell us the actual term for it.
It's actually called the in-goal area.
There we go. The in-goal area.
Right.
Yeah.
IGA.
It's going to take a while. By the way, one of my favorite players right here is this Tyke.
Yeah,
Tyke Leader, who played a little bit last season with the NOLA Gold. He was on loan, by the way, from the Free Jacks to Rooney last year. That's an interesting little setup. And
can he convert? Yes, he can.
looks good. Good kick by Tyke to tie it up at 7.
Okay, here's your tie game now. Both teams have done it, and they've done it with their forwards. You see that ball? He stays on his feet.
So
his mates are keeping him up. They get him over the line.
Looks like it
go
was
down,
number
mate. Go
9.
down, mate. Yep.
Yeah, it was John Poland. John Poland inserted himself into the maul. Smart play. Usually the 9 stays out of the maul, but smart play by John Poland.
By the way, I watched footage last week. He had a tremendous chip kick try to himself.
Yeah,
in the second half last week.
He's a really good player. I've watched a lot of him this year, and he's a really, really good halfback. Yeah, New Orleans is killing themselves with some penalties. They're off their feet there.
Gold 4.
Billy Stewart getting dinged there for being off his feet.
Again, you have to play rugby on your feet, right? You're going to go to the ground. You're going to go to the dirt, but to make a play, you've got to be up on your feet. So, Free Jacks looked like they were backed up there. Instead, they got a lot of breathing room and another good opportunity with this ball behind mid-pitch.
Yeah, it's a good attacking ball here, Ian. You know, probably going to come off the top real quick and try to get it out to their backs. I like what the Free Jacks, I like that second level play from the Free Jacks. You run the blocker runner down, and you bring in Danny Collins off the weak side or Bodine Walker.
Ian,
let's see what they do here.
Is this your brother, Sean McNulty?
No relation that I know of, but my people do go back to Ireland. Maybe a distant cousin,
Well,
perhaps.
Irish parents. He was born in London, but
Well,
he's
but
Irish parents.
look at this now, because the goal
JP down the sideline.
He's got some room. Oh, but he
Oh.
pops it back into the waiting hands of the Free Jacks from that stolen line out here across the pitch.
15, leave it.
So
50. Sorry, this man
So
here.
you got a good
Straight
breakaway,
off your
but New
feet.
Orleans gets the
Come on,
penalty
get
here
your
for
foot on the
number
ground, straight off
15
your
coming
feet.
off his feet, I believe is the call. So New Orleans has the penalty here. You'll see the nudge in the corner, but good break here, just quick hands.
And you see the footwork on touch there to remain in play.
Yeah.
Strong work.
Maybe the pop off the paddock off the ground by JP, maybe a little bit ill-advised. But hey, he's trying to keep the ball alive. New Orleans now has a 5-meter line out. We may see the same thing we just saw from the Free Jacks, Ian. Just get the ball down and just get a good formation in the maul. New Orleans' last maul off the 5-meter wasn't real shapely. Let's hope they can get their shape here and push over.
This is the spot NOLA Gold likes. They've had a lot of success with these mauling tries.
That's
Have it. They're moving. Free Jacks organizing defense, but they're still marching. They'd like to knock them out. Oh, they're on their feet. They've got it. They've got a big. Looks like they had a big overload there. Did not.
He's got a penalty. I don't know what he's got a penalty to New Orleans. Ian. It looks like someone coming in from the sides of the maul.
Back here.
Yeah, when that maul starts moving and
Right.
winding around there, you got to keep discipline to go at it through the gate, as they say.
Right.
You got to go at it straight ahead.
Yeah, so they're going to go for the line out again, which you know they like their maul. I mean, a scrum there could have worked too, Ian, because the scrum to me is a better attacking ball in here, and they've been winning their scrum. Let's see what they can do with the maul.
Scrum leaves a little less in doubt. But they have it. They're in good mauling position again. Down to deck. Turns into a ruck now. Gonna have to use it.
Choose it.
Gonna have to use it. Ref says, oh, hey, here we go. He's over the line, but it looks like they may have been holding him up, and they did.
And see, that's one of the drawbacks on the maul, Ian. If you don't stay on your feet. If you don't stay on your feet and get that ball over the try line, you know, it goes to the ground, you're going to lose the football because it's a maul.
By the way, that is the birthday boy. Turned 30 today, 2-time World Cup star, playing the number 8 for the USA Eagles, Cam Dolan. Great guy. He shot a great commercial, by the way, this week with superstar Saint player Cam Jordan. They played off the Cam and Cam names. It's been running on local television all week. It was great.
Okay, so NOLA Gold held up there by the Free Jacks defense, but still their ball coming in here with a scrum.
And I like this scrum here. I like this as a good attacking ball. I like to attack off the scrum as an offensive coach. And look, you're getting a big push from them. A little early, so they're going to reset it.
Crowd is into it. You can hear the crowd chanting NOLA in the background. That's their scrum chant.
Crowds are getting bigger and bigger, by the way.
Good to see. It's great to see these
Too much
Major League Rugby venues filling in.
After the
I don't know, Ian. I mean, the way New Orleans is getting a push here, they may be able to walk this one over for a scrum pushover try. Let's see what they do.
Not if the Free Jacks have anything to say about it.
They definitely have the best uniforms in the league.
No, they're fantastic. I mean, I'm jealous. I love the gold uniforms as well with the traditional collar.
See, they use that ball fast in the back of the scrum.
That was Dolan to Scotty Gale. And it looks like a third score. All 3 scores have come in crowded territory.
Free Jacks were there to stop him on that first thrust, but not on the second. Gold was able to move that ball, get that ball moving again, and that was
Nikola Bursic.
Bursic. Okay.
So happy for him getting a score. He come on slowly after an injury. Here's the try.
Yeah, just very patient here. I mean, and then Nikola just so strong. And typically, New Orleans likes to go towards the goalpost on that pick and go, and what they call a Raider play. But Nikola saw a little gap that the A gap had opened up on that other side of the maul and the ruck and just took it in.
Jeff, he's so tough and physical, man. 6'2", 250, but he is the guy you want in the middle of a fight. But the Torrance, California grew up in Santiago, 28 caps and 26 starts.
So sometimes you see teams here, they can knock on the door phase after phase, and then sometimes you give it to one of your big men like that, he's able to stretch it out. Free Jacks have done a good job of defense, but for that one right there, they were trying to get him way too high to be able to stop that move and train.
It's been interesting this year as compared to last, as Carl Meyer kicks the conversion, and it is good for a 14-7 lead. Last year it was the back scoring for the NOLA Gold. It seemed like almost every game. This year it has been heavy dominant with the big guys scoring, including today with a prop and, of course, a back rower in Waldron and Bursage.
That's right. What we've seen play out in this game, the backs play is dynamic, right? That ball gets wide. They start burning through the meters. The crowd goes wild. But, so often it's that last phase, it's that last pass that undoes an attack. If you keep the ball in the hands of your big boys up close there, it's the old-fashioned game. NOLA Gold scrambling here to try to get a little room.
Yeah, he'll want to stay in the 22 here, and then you can exit straight out, Ian, as you know. There you go.
Yeah, finds touch.
So it was important that Julian Dominguez didn't run outside the 22. He kept his feet, but he stayed in the 22, which allows New Orleans to exit directly into touch from behind their 22. If he had brought the ball out of the 22, Ian, as you well know, then Carl Meyer would have to hit the ball in the field of play before it went over the touchline. So smart play by Julian Dominguez to get to the ground.
The game gives you more options when you're behind your 22 and stay behind your 22. You can kind of sort things out, see what you want to do with the ball.
That's the second time that ball's come straight down at John Poland's feet. Free Jacks want to clean up that line out a bit.
Oh, lucky for them, they keep it up.
Real good feed from Ty Leader.
Yeah, way to hold on to that ball too. In traffic. Free Jacks driving now, stitching something together here, moving that ball nice and quick. Now going way to the outside where they find the open man.
The Boston guy, Danny Collins, Boston through and through.
Had a little room to work with there. Free Jacks really putting a few phases together here. Stretch out the NOLA Gold defense. In that case, it goes wild.
So he's got called an offside on New Orleans, creeping up on the play. Really unnecessary because they were manned up. There was no reason to really be offside there. Just kind of lackadaisical.
Good time to explain. We have new fans here. Offsides. Why was that offsides for those that know football more than rugby?
So basically, the back line, every player has to be behind the back foot of the last man on their team in the ruck. So you can't be in front of the last foot. So what they were, I don't know who he called on that, but there were at least one or two guys who were in front of the foot trying to cheat up, as we call it. And you can't do that with these ARs being mic'd on the sideline. They see that. Even if the ref's back is turned, the AR is going to see it. And there's really no reason to shoot up on that because New Orleans was manned up on the Free Jacks.
So that's the discipline part of the game there.
Yeah.
You got to remember where you are at all times. So here the Free Jacks have an opportunity to tack on 3 points here if they can.
The Irishman, Ty Leader.
First penalty kick of the game is not good.
Just wide.
Yep.
Wide right.
Had the distance, didn't quite have the target. So we're still at 14-7. The host, NOLA Gold, up. One try on the visiting Free Jacks.
By the way, another interesting note on Leader. I learned yesterday, because I didn't follow MLR much in 2018, but he was the captain of the San Diego Legion in his first season of the MLR.
Top team in the league right now.
Yes,
we
they
saw
are.
here last week. And their narrow but well-earned victory over the NOLA Gold.
Oh, come back.
Free Jacks again, going through the phases, looking to stitch together an attack here, keep this thing moving.
It's good defense by New Orleans. They're staying home, not leaving their gaps, Ian. If you saw like Billy Stewart on that switch play didn't overcheat. So New Orleans is playing a really good defense here against the Free Jacks, who have some good ball skills.
Gotta be mindful.
That was forward. That was forward.
Looks like he had a good line there, but of course the ball just a little bit forward.
Yeah.
As we've seen undo a few attacking runs here today.
I like the way the Free Jacks try to find gaps and move the ball into space. I think their offense is interesting and a little bit more dynamic than New Orleans. I think if they open this up and they get the right bounce, it's going to be different.
Yeah, they're making opportunities where NOLA Gold has been able to exploit a few opportunities. It seems like they're really making the opportunities for themselves.
Yeah.
Playing tight, keeping a tight formation there. Didn't work out for him in that case.
McNulty had a lot of green ahead of him. He could have gone a long way.
McNulty, I like that kid.
He's got an interesting story. Born in London, he was raised in Rye, New York. Then he moved to Bahrain when he was 10. He's played in Dublin, University of Dublin, played for Leicester as well. And his folks are now in Hingham. Is it how you pronounce it? Hingham, Massachusetts?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They're watching this game, I'm sure.
Cheering on their boy.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. McNulty.
Okay?
He was the guy loaned to Rooney last year for for 4 games at the end of the season. If you remember that, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great, like you said, it was a great line he took there. It's just unfortunate it was a bit forward, but I like the way they're using space and looking to attack the line and get through.
All right, so
it's gonna work sooner or later in this game for sure.
Especially as fatigue becomes a growing factor. But right here in the closing minutes of the first half, we have a scrum right on the NOLA Gold badge.
So New Orleans gets the scrum penalty there, Ian. It looks like he's got the number 3 pulling the scrum down, and that's a consequence of just being pushed back, and being, just pushed off the ball.
There are the dark arts of the front row, and then sometimes there's just simply being pushed about.
I missed that phrase. We heard it a little bit last season. I think that's the first call of the dark arts for this season, Ian.
Well, we don't like to bring them up too often, Scott. The dark arts prefers to be kept in the dark. The sunlight is not their friend. Sunlight is rarely the friend of any first rower in rugby.
That is hilarious.
Yes, but in that case, gives the Gold good opportunity here as the clock winds towards 40 minutes.
So what you probably going to see here, Ian, is you're probably going to be a back pod throw here and a quick off the top and get it out to the backs. There it is. There it is.
Champing at the bit. Doesn't get there. But Gold are still able to use it. Yes, they are. So bad throw, but good luck to keep it. And skill to be there. Oh, nice back inside line.
Good ball from Colin Foley.
Gold rolling now.
Yeah, you want to use this real quick.
See how they're getting.
Good tips play there to Dino. Good run. Dino Waldron off the tips play from Billy Stewart.
Gold is sucking in defenders here.
Number 3 on his feet, on the ball. Man's gonna let go, holding on.
All right, the whistle's blown. The horn is blown here for 40 minutes, but the ref's gonna keep this one playing.
Yeah, so basically
Number
Dino
3,
Waldron.
holding on, go.
Yeah, Dino Waldron went to ground, Ian, and the Free Jacks player, couldn't see who it was, came over, poached the football, and Ty Leader just kicks it into touch for halftime.
That'll take us to that. All right, all in all, I think NOLA Gold has to be pretty happy with that. They're coming out of this with a 1-try lead, even though they've seen many attacks undone by handling errors or poor luck.
Solid first half by the NOLA Gold. I know New England will be coming to attack in the second half. 14-7 NOLA Gold. Hey, stay tuned. We're going to have a great halftime guest for you. General Manager Ryan Fitzgerald is going to talk about his team, the venue, and everything around that's associated with the NOLA Gold. Okay. 2.5 minutes. Welcome back to the Gold Mine on Airline. Hey, the NOLA Gold are leading at halftime 14-7. Spirited first half. The big guys are scoring in this match. Of course, 2 by the NOLA Gold, 1 by the New England Free Jacks. Hey, I have the guy here who scours the earth for talent around for the NOLA Gold. He has 10 different countries represented on this team. Ryan Fitzgerald, how are you doing, my friend?
Scotty, thanks a lot. Great to be here. Appreciate it.
The general manager, I know you were the guy that came from the beginning. You're the guy that's seen the practice. You're the guy that takes the mop out because it's got to get done. You're going to do it. You're a Marine. Why did you get into this gig, and how's it going for 3 years now?
Yeah, whatever it takes, whatever it takes we got to do to get it done. Fortunate enough to be scouted, played here with New Orleans Rugby Club for 10 years, met Tim Falcon, known him for years, played with Jared Falcon, Cam Falcon, got into NFL scouting, and it was a perfect timing and perfect segue right into the start of MLR that Tim gave me a great opportunity here to be the general manager.
And how about the venue? It's the third game here at the new Gold Mine on Airline. You're right next to the Saints facility, right next to the Pelicans facility, and you see the crowds getting bigger and bigger each game.
What a great day to be alive, huh? I mean, unbelievable. I mean, what more else can you ask for? Greatest country in the world, greatest city right here, these fans, the venue, everything, all the help from the state, and big thanks to the governor and everything.
You got to love a Marine. What a great country. That's what he says here. Hey,
come on.
How about the team you've built? I mean, are you satisfied with what's going on now? You unearthed these gems from around the world, and you've done it again this season. What's your take on the team?
Yeah, I love the guys. They've been working hard all year, all off season. Our coaching staff and our strength and conditioning program has been outstanding. But biggest thing, too, is finding depth, but also finding the right guys, the culture. They really bought into this whole brotherhood. They bought into it. They really genuinely care about each other. They'll go to battle for each other. They'll knock down the door, stack on the wall, everything. And that's what you really need. When you deal with adversity, we've dealt with adversity early on in the year, playing on the road, a couple guys having the flu, some injuries. And here we are, and we're in an absolute dogfight with a great team here with New England.
How do you find these guys, though? The Julian Dominguez. Last year was Tristan Blewett. You seem like you get these guys out of nowhere, and they become stars.
Yeah, watch a lot of tape. Watch a lot of tape.
And you're very persistent. I know that.
Yeah, stay persistent with it. Watch a lot of tape, grinding. Good word of mouth. A lot of rugby. The good thing about rugby is a lot. If you have that good culture, it spreads. And a lot of guys spread the word for you, and it's led to great things here.
Well, good luck in the second half.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, that's Ryan Fitzgerald, the general manager. Hey, listen, New England, you've got a great team. You might have a comeback on the way. Stay tuned. You're watching NOLA Gold Rugby on CST. Hey, welcome back to the Gold Mine on Airline. You're watching Major League Rugby right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. NOLA 14, New England 7. Hey, this is the 5th straight week that the NOLA Gold have had the lead at the half. 2 of those previous 4, though, they fell apart in the second half. After leading 21-9 to the most powerful team in MLR, they lost 25-21. Do you think that's a sign of things to come, or do you think they can keep this lead like they did in game 1 and 3?
Well, you have to imagine NOLA Gold knows the stakes. They know the history. It comes down to the digging deep part, right? Okay, it comes down to the reserves who might come on later, and it comes down to, as we discussed earlier, just keeping it up, winning those set pieces, and exploiting opportunities. So far, mixed marks in that category, but they have a chance to reset and come back a little stronger.
Interesting. I mentioned it earlier. Last year, the backs were getting these exciting scores all season long. This year it's been more the big guys, and today is no different. All 3 tries by both teams have been by big guys. Let's look at the highlights first. The first one, Dino Waldron, the former St. Mary's player.
Yeah, so here we go. The ball gets wide. Carl makes a breakdown, a good little backhand to Con. Doesn't have the pace to take it all the way, but smartly goes to the ground with the ball. And here they pick it up.
Yep. This is the Free Jacks territory here now.
Danny Collins with a nice ball back
Walker
inside.
right there.
If Walker just keeps going straight, see, he probably could score there, but he turns it back inside. Here's the pick and go from Dino Waldron here. Pretty simple rugby. Just keep it tight, keep it low, and drive over. Con Foley's had a really good first half for New Orleans, cleaning up balls. Here's the easy maul from John Poland.
Yeah, the Free Jacks, you see how they just keep marching. One united front right there, and they get it over the try line. Not a lot for NOLA Gold to do to stop
And they
them.
alternated scores, and here's the third one right there by Persic, the Chilean. Nice score right there by him to make it 14-7. And here's Ty Gleader, the former NOLA Gold player last year. A little ride white on the penalty kick, keeping the score at 14-7 here at the half. Hey, we're going to have an exciting second half. Stay tuned right here. NOLA Gold Rugby, New England Free Jacks on CST.
right, about to get started with our second half.
Welcome back to the goal mine on Airline, and for the second half of this Major League Rugby game of the week. And Ian take off with the second half kick by Ty Leader.
Yeah, so Gold managed to hold on to their lead, 14-7 going into the half. If you're Gold, I think you probably have to feel like you left some points on the board. But heck, I think the Free Jacks probably have that feeling too. They had a number of really promising attacking runs there, undone by handling errors, coughing the ball up. Yeah, some good defense, of course, too, by the Gold. So with ball in hand, NOLA Gold is going to see if they can set the terms here for the second half. Free Jacks stopping them right there at the center. Yep, looking for an exit. Into the welcoming arms of the Free Jacks.
See a high ball here from Bodine Walker.
Nice high ball there, trying to give his guy a chance to get underneath it. Does not. Ball goes a little bit wild. The Gold comes up with it. Back into attacking form again. Robbie Coleman finds a nice little gap there.
Yeah, a little half gap for Robbie. He likes it, like we said last week, Robbie Coleman likes to shoot that half gap and look for runners off him. New Orleans needs to get the runners off him because a lot of times Robbie Coleman's just going in without any support.
So far, though, the Free Jacks have been able to corral the NOLA Gold. Here, though, he's got room to run.
Down the sideline, chip kick to himself.
Go with a little up and under.
Ty Leader gets it.
Yeah, Ty Leader can take the mark there. So the mark is like a fair catch in football.
Just here, Blue.
So what you see here is the closest equivalent we have to a passing play, right? Your forward pass, a passing play from football is what he does here. He's gonna kick a little up and under, and if he can get underneath that catch his own or get one of his mates to do it, but instead Free Jacks are right there where they needed to be.
When it works, it's a thing of beauty, though.
It certainly is. It can be devastating play. Worth a shot anyway from that position, with what the options they had in front of them.
It's a good tackle.
Yeah.
Sam Beard.
Free Jacks been jacking them up here, and they get the ball.
Nice play.
John Poland's a really good halfback.
Oh, look out for this.
They got space.
They have numbers. Free Jacks have numbers. They have space. He's got one more man. Can it beat?
Danny Collins just going to the ground. Smart play by Danny Collins. Knocking on the door here, Ian.
Stay on side.
Looking to slow it down right here. See if they can grind it across. Backs lining up in position now.
On fire. Stay. Ball's available. Stand the line.
Gonna have to use that ball soon, ref is saying. They're right on the line now, Jeff.
Yeah, they're right there. It looks like if they could keep the ball down to the ground, they'll get an easy score here. There it is, there it is. Nice score right there by the Free Jacks.
Over and down. Free Jacks pack on another 5. Well, we wondered who was going to set the pace for the second half, and the Free Jacks had the better of it there. Stealing that ball out of the ruck, poached it, and moved it quick, exploited it.
We think that might be Connor Kendrickin, but I'm not positive once again. This is the 4th straight score that's been down in the mix. Tough to figure out the numbers sometimes.
Yeah, Danny Collins, he gets the ball out wide there, and he does a smart thing where he takes the ball back inside so he doesn't get pushed into touch. Goes to ground and just lets the big boys do their thing. Very smart play from the local guy, Danny.
Yeah, it's Connor Kendrickin, like we thought. He's the Irishman. University of Limerick, 6'4", 260. He used every bit of that to get in. Believe it or not, this guy was a 60 and 100 meter champ in track at 6'4". That's very unusual right there, but he's also a soccer player. But here's my favorite part about him. He majored in wood science and technology. What exactly is that, Jeff?
I don't know. But Ian and I had the opportunity to play some rugby in Limerick a couple of years ago. And beautiful, beautiful part of Ireland for sure.
Fantastic. Good days.
Cork
and
Constitution.
That kick is not good.
Just pushed it wide, Ian.
Yeah, leaves NOLA grasping onto a very slim 2-point lead after Free Jacks find their way into the try zone.
Ian, this is your favorite part of the broadcast. This is copyrighted. Telecast of NOLA Gold Rugby may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of Cox Sports Television, NOLA Gold, and Major League Rugby.
serious business there, Scott.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, take care of that one. And
Outside.
Free Jacks are up to their
Use
business
it.
now.
So now the ref is calling this outside, Ian. So what John Poland's going to do is going to have to keep this ball in the
Stay
field
guard,
of play. Good high ball from him. He's really impressive. That's going to be probably a knock-on New Orleans, I would think. Yes.
Looks like it slipped off the chest there.
Yep.
Bounced right out to touch.
Not a really good box kick from John, but they got, did what it had to do. They got the ball back. Again, John Poland sets up that last try. He's a really, really dynamic halfback. He's got great feet and great vision. I've watched a lot of the Free Jacks games being a Boston boy, and very impressed by him, Ian.
Yet another Irishman there from the University of College Cork.
Well taken in the line out.
There's the high ball again. He's like, I'm going to test you again and see what happens. And Tim Oppen takes it very well.
Does he ever? And he has room to run. He gets choked up here by the Free Jacks after burning through about 10 meters. Quickly through the hands. Free Jacks are there with numbers and there for the tackle. Well taken by Tim Maupin, though, on that kick.
I'd like to see New Orleans just have a little bit quicker ball to their forwards, with the forwards coming hard on the line. They seem to be taking the ball on the first step rather than the third step. It's a very slow developing offense, Ian. This could be...
And just to get it away, he's got some help. Weaving back inside. He's got one more man to beat, and he does.
He scores! No, was he right
Are they
down?
calling it held up?
They're calling it held up.
This is going to take a bit of a discussion.
Time off, guys.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's check it out there, the replay.
It looked like to me he got that ball down on his first hit, but let's see. Good stiff arm by, good flip by Cam Dolan.
See this pass. A very crowded pitch right there.
Held up. 5 minute scrum.
That's so close, right?
He missed that. That ball went down. That ball was touched down by Con Foley. It looks like the AR may have been blocked, but when he first hit down, he hit that ball down, then he popped up, and it was held up.
Verily looked like a try from here on the replay. However, not the ruling.
We actually have the best view because this is exactly where we are.
We're right on
sitting
top
here.
of that. I mean, credit, that's the problem when you
It's
don't
tough.
have TMO. Right.
Right.
And the ARs do a wonderful job. Now, here, Ian, I would think New Orleans could get a good little push on here. Maybe try to walk this over. Or get the penalty and see what they can do. Maybe go for their nugs in the corner. But let's see what they can do here in this scrum.
Got to win it first. Nothing's for free in rugby.
Good push by the Free Jacks.
Yep.
It's a big crash ball there. Now you want to use this ball real quickly, but it got slowed down.
Yeah, it's slow now. Seconds matter. Half seconds matter.
Now you just be patient. Build your phases here. Matty Harmon.
Give him some of the big boys. See if they can suck up some defenders. Then he gets driven back.
Yeah, Matt's got to get a bit. Matt Harmon needs to get lower there in that tackle, Ian. He was too high and got pushed back.
Lucky to keep that ball, but maybe
And the
not.
Free Jacks turned it over.
Free Jacks saved themselves there.
John Poland with a good clearance kick.
Okay, for those of you newbies to rugby wondering why that diving try into the try zone was not a score, of course, in rugby you have to actually touch the ball down. The ball has to touch the turf, hence the term touchdown that we've borrowed for American football. And in that case, the Free Jacks were, by the ruling on the pitch, by Jimmy Nutbrown and his ARs, Free Jacks were there to impede the ball from touching the ground. So no score for NOLA Gold, and Free Jacks, a good scramble there, able to clear it. Of course, back in the hands of NOLA Gold here for a line out, see if they can resume their attack. Batted into the hands of the Free Jacks.
Like you said at the beginning of the game, Ian, set pieces, New Orleans lineout has not been that attractive today, to say the least. Little confusion there by John Poland. He nudges in a nice little kick. And the Free Jacks will get the ball right back, Ian. A good attacking ball here.
Kicking game is, when I was a club man, I played prop, right? So they didn't let me kick the ball ever. But you learn to appreciate just how important and skillful kicking has to be. So many things you can do with it.
Yeah, well, John Poland sees there. They get the ball. He has no structure in his back line. So he just does the smart thing and pops the ball over and says, okay, New Orleans, I'm going to put you under pressure and see what you do with the ball. This is a really good football player now.
You're giving away possession, but you're testing your opponent.
Right. There you see, good vision. I love this. That's
watch that line.
Walker. Bodine Walker's just got great vision. His inserts are perfectly timed. And that's what you saw with Nanu last week, just the timing of his inserts. We'll build up here, Ian.
Leave it now, you're off. Good fish shot.
Have some men out wide, have some space, able to evade. They've got an overload. Could be headed for the try zone. No, tripped up, tackled.
Nice pass. Oh, he's got it. There's a try right there. Look at that. Liam Steele, who missed the last couple games, back with a big score right there for the New England Free Jacks, who take the lead.
Yeah, they dot it down right there in the corner. Let's take a look at how this took shape.
Well, you can see what's going to happen is one of the New Orleans defenders shoots the gap. You can see it right there. That they shoot the gap and the 12 just stretches through. Smart play, very patient. And then John Poland again, just a really super perceptive guy.
You're mentioning his name quite often.
Yeah, I guess I'm a scrum half, and so I watch scrum halves. But to me, the scrum half, the guy like this, he's just controlling this game. To me, he's playing extremely well.
Impressive how fast the Free Jacks were able to use the ball too. That tackle player wasn't on the pitch for half a second before that ball was back out into the hands of his mates.
And that's the thing. One of the issues I have with New Orleans is the ball is really slow coming off the ground, and they're going to have to need to use that ball quicker.
Well, Steele and Beard had such a great game against Rooney in game 1. Obviously, they've missed him the last few weeks, but he is his great ability to read defenses, great acceleration and speed, which you saw there. And here's Leader trying to get back on the snide after 2 misses, 1 conversion, 1 penalty kick, and this one looked like another miss.
Yeah, I pushed that one right.
Way right. So I feel bad for Leader because he's a good guy, good friend, but that's 3 straight misses.
Well, that was a very challenging kick there. Of course, that try went in at the very extremities of the try zone, so leaving his kicker with really just a needle to thread there.
So it leaves the goal just within a penalty kick of tying this game. It's the first. Here's the thing. This is the first deficit of the second half. We saw what happened against San Diego last week when they went down. They were not able to score any points in the second half. What can they do to turn this around right now against the Free Jacks?
Here's their first opportunity at every touch.
They brought in some subs really early too. New Orleans has Malcolm May. There's a turnover. Cam Dolan with the poach. Looks like they brought in Malcolm May for Nikola Bursic. And
remember, what the ref wants is to keep that ball moving. He doesn't want either side to do anything that will slow down the ball or prevent the other team from having a fair chance at it.
One thing y'all I've learned, and you guys obviously know it, but how things can turn so rapidly. Like Con Foley looked like he scored. They could have taken a 21-12 lead. They didn't get the try, even though it was apparent he got it, and now they're down 17-14, and they're looking to save their season. But listen, this is a very pivotal game for both these teams.
Absolutely right. You're 1-3 Free Jacks, looking to go to 2-3, which sounds a lot better if you're a Free Jacks fan. NOLA Gold at 2-2. It's anybody's season right now. If they can lift themselves to 3-2 before they have to go on the road.
And the Gold haven't had a losing record at all since 2018. Last year, they never had a losing record. They started off so fast. This year, they've won 1, lost 1, won 1, lost 1. So this would be uncharted territory for the last couple seasons for Nate Osborne and his team.
It's an important kick.
Good.
And like we said, tie game right now. Carl Meyer from South Africa, the big 6'3", 235 kicker, who, by the way, I've seen him kick 75 meters. This guy's got a leg.
The leg on him, yes.
So that's a big kick for them. So we have a new ball game.
Yep, 17-17. You can call it 0-0, right? But yes, for momentum, gosh, that was probably a lucky break for NOLA Gold, because after giving up that try, to be able to tie things up here gives them maybe a shot in the arm, fresh legs here for the second half. All right, speaking of fresh legs, look at that. Good grind down the side to knock out a touch.
I wouldn't necessarily call him fresh legs there. It's just he probably a little too audacious there and trying to run that ball down the touchline. He could have just gone to ground in the 22 and let it New Orleans exit. Now he gives the Free Jacks, now the Free Jacks have an attacking ball. I know he's trying to make a play there, but not really the most prudent thing to do.
Right, because here it is, Free Jacks attacking now.
So you'll see this ball will ship again here from Poland. Yeah, that's a great line. See?
It's a wild ball, but Free Jacks come up with it. Out wide, NOLA Gold trying to knock him out to touch, but can't. Ball's on the deck. Looks like the new Free Jacks will be coming up with it.
Who's available there?
Well, you saw how the prop, the number 3, that took the ball at pace, and that's what I'm talking about. The Free Jacks are taking the ball at pace and making meters. New Orleans just is not, their forwards just do not take the ball at pace, and it's hurting their offense.
That's right. Ideally, you want to run onto that ball with a head of steam. Much harder proposition to stop you.
Now here it's okay to be slower because the ball is slower. Now,
Free Jacks see something out wide.
Again. Oh, that was beautiful. That was top drawer stuff.
Nice try again by the Free Jacks.
That was top drawer. I mean, if you watch the back flip passes, and again, John Poland in an inside support line.
Is he the player of the game thus far?
Absolutely. I mean, watch where he comes from. Watch the flip pass here. Watch this pass by the 8 back inside. Boom.
A great pass there. Wow.
And another one here. And then you have John Poland again, just running the play, running the support line.
Fantastic confidence in your teammates to pull that one off.
Well, obviously those two Fijians pass to each other. I feel like they've done it before. The 14 man, we know who he is, Poaso Waganabo, and then of course Nalia Duai, excuse me.
You were there.
That was close.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. There's a lot of them out here. John Poland, though, what a key performer today. His second try of the game, and he's doing all the little things as well.
Yeah, I mean, a scrum with that halfback, the halfback, like after that ball breaks the second level, like you want to follow the play, but John Poland doesn't go to the ball. He stays wide to give the option back inside to him. It's very perceptive player.
Close, and that looks like that might be.
Yeah, it looks like they switched kickers there. It looked like Walker had a lash there instead of Ty Leader.
Conversion was not good. Leaves us at 22-17.
But we go back to what I said in the first half. If the Free Jacks are going to start clicking on their back line, they move the ball so well, it's so crisp. And I said if they just start doing it, it's going to be trouble for New Orleans, and you're seeing it now. Big runs, yeah.
Those are some big moving backs they have there too, Free Jacks, that's for sure.
The kicking game has not been their friend, so that is keeping the Gold in this match at the moment, at least.
Yeah, New Orleans is getting thoroughly outplayed in this match, in my opinion.
In the entire match or the second half?
In the entire match.
Okay.
Ball comes loose, kick. I think it's going to be a knock.
Knock on goal, Scrum blue.
I mean, New Orleans was able to score 2 tries because of penalties by the Free Jacks that pushed New Orleans down into
3 blues, so time off.
Into the 5-meter zone, but
Haven't seen.
Hey, for the casual viewer, it does seem like it's a much closer game. Why, for the lay people out there that are just learning rugby, why are they getting thoroughly outplayed?
because, I mean, the ball is moving so much better through the Free Jacks. If you look at New Orleans' offense, they've had a couple of breaks, but nothing has materialized off those breaks. The Free Jacks keep the ball alive well. They're making the big runs. They're attacking space well. New Orleans' offense just looks a bit stagnant today. It just doesn't look very dynamic.
Yeah, if you're a New Orleans fan, you're looking for them to come onto this ball faster, to move the ball faster, to move the ball through hands, to make some opportunities, to unleash some of the backs here who have not had much of a game.
That should be a penalty to New Orleans, Ian. Yeah. And that could be a tide turner, you know, big scrum penalty. I think they've, like I said, they've brought in some reserves. It looks like Kevin Sullivan has come in for Matt Harmon. I see Malcolm May has come in for Nicola Bursic. So, you know, let's see if New Orleans can put this ball close to the corner and go to good attacking position. You see they bring in the left footer here, Ian, Robbie Coleman, to try to give him a little better angle here.
Yeah, kicking it from here. This will be a key kick.
Let's go now, boys.
Does pretty well with it. They're behind the 22, so a lot of opportunities here. Of course, they have to exploit and use them.
2 and 4. Yeah, awesome, man. Good scrum there last one.
Fashion note, we pointed it out earlier. Free Jacks. Kudos for the jerseys. Old school to the extreme with those collars.
They're beautiful.
That's how they were when I started playing.
And the white number block is great too. I wonder if they have the rubber buttons as well.
The rubber button would be it, wouldn't it?
Your time's off.
Great to have new teams joining the league. Free Jacks in their first season here from Boston, such a great rugby city. As I said in Spinal Tap, not much of a college town, right?
A Spinal Tap reference. That's the second one I've gotten in 2 days.
I had the one yesterday.
You had the one yesterday. I was like, I haven't heard about that movie in a decade at least.
Oh, hang out with me. You'll get all kinds of old movie references. All right, NOLA Gold with a put in.
Cam Falcon, who's now in the game with the line out.
Well taken, plucked that one out of the air.
See the Free Jacks trying to mess it up a bit here. And I get a good push here from New Orleans.
Moving it.
Yeah, but you're going to have to extricate it, Cam Falcon. Now he wants to go to the ground really quick because now it'll just be a tackle.
It does. They're rucking now. Backs are well lined up here. Be good to get to them soon. One up the middle. Drags a few defenders with him.
Kane Thompson in the game for probably for Billy Stewart here.
3-time World Cup player from New Zealand. He played for Samoa.
Leave it now, you're off.
Gold, skip a man, keep it moving.
Shout out to Johnsonville Rugby Club in Wellington, who's had a few players from New Orleans.
New Orleans coughs up the ball again. Free Jacks have it. Lost in the ruck. Looking to clear his lines.
There's a good kick by Leader.
Yep.
Well fielded, though, by NOLA Gold. Back to the attack again. He's got some room.
Look at him, off we go. Nice run by the former De La Salle of California running back.
Fantastic run. However, that ball goes nowhere. No one home for that one.
Malcolm May.
Lucky to recover that one on their own.
He's rolling good.
NOLA Gold, that attack's one done there. But still, Hook springs eternal for the gold. Oh, he's got some room.
Nice move
He's
right
got some
there.
room. He's making some room, that's for sure.
J.P. Love, the franchise leading scorer.
NOLA Gold up the gut, but the Free Jacks there
Nice
to jack him up. Yep, we can hear that one up here in the booth.
Yes, good. Give Craig, the audio man, a little shout out for that audio.
Greg. So still Gold's ball, going through the phases.
Back inside here. So now watch, New Orleans just going to set up their phases.
Credit the Free Jacks, though. Good defense here. They've got an answer for most.
That's how you want to strike onto a slower football, Ian, like Carl Meyer did. I'd like to see the forwards do that. Like right here, just strike onto the ball.
Kyle Bailey, the captain from Canada.
They've got numbers out wide if they use the space properly. That's a beautiful kick by Robbie Coleman.
Can they get there?
Dominguez!
Can he get there?
What a great try. Great effort.
Yes, not a
great
try.
effort. I knew it wasn't a try.
Yeah, so but what happened is Bodine Walker touched the ball down before Julian Dominguez did. So that'll be a 22-meter drop to
Time off, it's a water break.
Yeah, they're on
22 drop. It's a great little nudge through by Robbie Coleman, and it's just a foot race. Julian touches it back inside, and Bodine Walker just beats it to him.
Nice little try on the creative, nice little effort on the creative play there by the NOLA Gold. Didn't come through, but certainly Robbie Coleman and Julian Dominguez were on the same page there. They just missed it a little bit. We're about near our hydration break right now. Here we are. Hey, by the way, Tulane baseball, tune in Tuesday when the Greenway baseball team takes the field to battle the Lamar Cardinals. The first pitch is set for 6:30 p.m. right here on CST. 20 minutes to go, fellas. What's your take on what the Gold need to do and what the Free Jacks need to do to keep from getting in that try zone?
Scott, we're in the final act here. You have to think that the Free Jacks have got some wind in their sails now of their Yankee their Yankee Clipper. They came back from a deficit at the half. They've been able to score. They've been able to move the ball. They've been able to find their pace. NOLA Gold, however, even though they've had some mistakes, they've found a little wind here themselves in the last few minutes.
Yeah, the Free Jacks are very impressive, and particularly in the second half. Hey, by the way, let's look at the upcoming schedule. NOLA Gold, it's brought to you by Cox right now. here's the schedule coming up. I know next week they go to Utah. That is a nighttime game. You're going to be able to check that out. Also on the 28th, a national game against the Toronto Arrows. Then you go at Atlanta, at Old Glory. The two teams they played earlier in the season, they split. They're going to try to do the same, or at least give 2 or 1 at the minimum. And then they have the big game here on the 18th. Rooney comes to town. That is a giant one. And, of course, the Free Jacks, they get the repeat at the end of April before the May schedule comes around. But this league is tough, and particularly the Eastern Conference this year, Jeff.
A lot of Eastern Conference games there coming up, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be making the Boston game back at home. Looking forward to that stadium in Weymouth and South Shore of Boston. But we got a great game here. Free Jacks are playing really good rugby right now.
Yes, they are.
They are playing.
And NOLA Gold here, fans in the stands are excited.
Wow, that was a pop.
Yeah, they are. They're responding to every tackle, every pop.
This is where it gets fun, guys, right here.
Every minute matters. Every minute matters. Free Jacks with a narrow 5-point lead.
This is much better from New Orleans. Much better. That's what you want to do. Cam Falcon, may want to get a little lower, get him down to the ground, boys, or he's going to be, there it is.
Yeah, they finally managed
but
to
at least he's taking it on pace, Ian. This is much better. Kevin Sullivan.
Look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, he's got some room in front of him. He's got a lot of defenders closing in.
Just go down on the ball. And
they've got a huge overload over here. They should be able to walk this in. They can't, though. The handling error. The ball is still alive, and the Gold are going to score. What a wild turn of events there, Jeff. My goodness. If you're a Gold fan, your emotions just went 3 different ways at once.
Yeah, Scotty Gale comes through with the score. This is going to be a barn burner, and the fans don't want nothing less, but that's a big score by the Brisbane, Australian native.
Watch all the things that have to happen for this try to actually be successful.
Yeah, but Kevin Sullivan makes a big run up the middle. Great offload. Marginally lateral, but Malcolm May with a good clean out here. Quick ball by Holden Younger. I don't know what happened here. Looks like an intentional slap down. I don't know why that's not a card, but nonetheless, New Orleans scores. But New Orleans is getting front foot ball, Ian, because they're striking onto the ball hard. Kevin Sullivan taking it at pace. Malcolm May taking it at pace. Cam Falcon taking it at pace. That's what New Orleans needs to do, is take that ball at pace.
How big is this conversion right here from Carl Meyer? Not the most ideal angle, but not a bad one either.
It's a makeable kick.
Yeah, it's a tie game right now. Could nudge NOLA ahead with a little 2-point margin if he can make this. You saw Scotty Gale taking that try in. He was trying to give an advantageous position to his kicker, but had to dot it down eventually with Free Jacks in pursuit. Just watch this.
Meyer has made all 3 of his kicks, 2 conversions, and of course the penalty kick earlier. This would give the important lead late in the game.
Coming around nicely.
Up and away. Good. And good. Well done. So this was a dynamic try, to say the least. This is an all-hands-on-deck try. You see it takes the combined effort of everybody here to make this happen. Your big forwards breaking the line, munching it through. If you're a Free Jacks fan, you may be groaning at that offload there, but no whistle, play on. Here it comes again, down to the ground. Curious play there, no whistle.
Well,
play continues.
It doesn't look like he knocked it down, Ian. He just looks like he stuck his hand in there and stripped the ball forward, which would just be a knock on. He wasn't intentionally trying to knock the ball. He just stripped the ball forward. Thus, no penalty.
That was a good play on then.
Yeah, and a good call by the ref, actually.
Sometimes
really good call.
Best call a ref can do sometimes is just let the boys play, right?
That's a great kick. That's a great exit by Scott Gale. So, Scott, we got a bunch of subs in. Holden Youngard's coming at halfback.
Nick Feeks is in the match.
Nick Feeks, Kevin Sullivan, who we mentioned with the big run up the guts. James Doc Irie, another kind of local guy who's come through the academy. He's come in at tight head prop for Dina Waldron.
Several for New England as well. I just saw Owen Hunt, number 19.
Number 17, Simon. The
Corcu.
Yep, the young French guy that New Orleans was looking at a couple of years ago.
By the way, Clermont is where he played academy, which is the partner team for the NOLA Gold in France.
Wildly loose, but the Free Jacks are able to recover it.
My boy John Poland. Hopefully he should get a contract with Poland Springs Water
No
in Boston.
doubt, no doubt. After this game, he definitely should.
He is he's something else.
Well, he has helped the Free Jacks spring to life in this game, that's for sure.
Leave it now. Good.
So controlled at the back of the breakdown and really, really solid now.
This is the point of the game where you do have fresh legs in the field, but you also do have a lot of fatigue.
Good tackle.
Mental discipline has to be utmost. Can't make any mistakes. Oh, look at that. Into the waiting hands.
On his birthday. Welcome to age 30. Cam Dolan, the U.S. National Eagle, gets a try. Big play for them.
Look at this take.
Right when you said, Ian, you can't make mistakes. Unfortunately, Josh Larson, a high-level player, you know, he just makes a pass he shouldn't have made, unfortunately. He knows it too. You see him throw his arms up, and he knows it.
Yeah, he wants that one back for sure. But credit Cam Dolan, not only was he there, he was able to turn on the jets. He had support, but didn't need it. Untouched, diving into the try zone.
Looked like he had a little spring in his step there. I haven't seen Cam run that fast in a while.
Well, you get that ball, you see a whole lot of green pitch in front of you. Listen, they've been the Free Jacks have made NOLA Gold pay for every blade of grass here, and when you get an opportunity just to break free and loose like that, yeah, you better find the energy to follow up on it.
Hey, he had 3 tries in week 1. He's been a mainstay for this team, obviously, for the last 2 seasons, and it's his birthday. I mean, how great is it to score on your 30th birthday?
Well, he got a gift there for sure.
He did get a gift. You're right.
I mean,
that's great.
And Josh Larson, like I said, is a highly capped player for Canada, and he knew it too. You could see him throw his arms up in the air. He knew he made it.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah,
absolutely. Let's see if
I love Josh Larson. We watched him last year. I remember he played for Austin Elite with his brother.
Yep.
The angle should be able to nail it, and he does.
It's a big kick. Now you're up 2 scores. You're up, you're now up 9 points. You're not up 7. So yeah.
There you go. He's just trying to move it out to his guys, and boom, a pick 5, we'll call it.
Right. He probably thought he had a smaller back out there, maybe a 6'1" outside center, not a 6'5", 8-man. So.
By the way, that is a bonus point there. 4th try for the NOLA Gold, so that's in the books regardless. Real quick though, the kicking game. I tried to say this in the beginning how important it is. Hey, the Free Jacks have made 1 kick all day, and they've missed 3 and a penalty kick. Carl Meyer has made all 5 of his attempts, 4 tries and a penalty kick.
Definitely been the difference maker thus far.
It would be tie if they scored them all. It'd be 31-31 if they got the 3 conversions and the penalty kick. So that's how important it is to convert on those things.
So you got about 10 minutes left on the clock. I don't know what the referee has on his clock, but you got about 10 minutes left. Plenty of time for the Free Jacks. They're going to go a quick line out here. Quick throw.
Quick throw, and they're in.
Walker's looking for some space, Ian. Not going to find much.
Gold kind of sitting back, waiting for him to come.
Looks like Kane Thompson got hurt on that.
Okay, Gold player is down.
Maybe a shoulder or something, Ian.
Okay, Gold's going to be a man down here for a moment anyway until he can get back on his feet. He is. Okay, good to see. Now he's back at it. Jacks trying it up the gut. Their backs are in good position. They went to weak side.
Penalty here. Someone came off their feet there. Look at Kane Thompson came off his feet, or maybe on an improper angle. Yeah, Kane's hurt. You can see that on the tackle, Ian.
Yeah.
That he hurt that right shoulder. I don't know what they have left for reserves.
Kane Thompson was one of the reserves for NOLA Gold.
Yeah, remember they have an extra back from last week. They're using 3 instead of 2, and that means you have 1 less forward. But Kane's taking a few licks today. I mean, I've noticed even when he's carried the ball, he's carried a couple times, and he's taken a couple licks big time.
Yeah, well, last week we talked about, Scott, how New Orleans went with 6 forwards and 2 backs. As you said, they went with 5 forwards and 3 backs this time. So they got some. If Kane's not able to go, I don't think they have anyone else on the bench. I'll stand corrected, but
what do? Do you move Carl, the biggest guy, down? I mean,
it's a tough call because you really don't have anyone who can play in the forwards except maybe you could throw Carl on the flank, but given his size, Carl Meyer. But I don't know what they're going to do here. I think Kane's going to tough it out. I mean, he's, maybe caught a stinger, hopefully, or something.
He's getting up there. He's almost 40. By the way, he has 3 World Cups for Samoa. He grew up in New Zealand. He's now a coach. He spends 10 hours coaching with this team as well.
Right, and he wouldn't really probably be on the field today if Ignacio Doughty wasn't hurt. But Kane's he's a warrior in all sense of the word, and he's back. He's okay.
He's back there in the lineup right now. Free Jacks ball, just in front of the 22. They take it nicely.
Nice.
And instantly to their backs.
Great
line by the Free Jacks.
That was smooth.
Yeah, that was a back peel play, a beautiful back peel play with an insert from the 12. This is going to be a good build-up here for the Free Jacks.
Very quickly, keeps the ball moving, attacking here. Advancing down the pitch, dragging defenders with him.
Who's available, guys?
Oh,
Another takeaway. It's a foot race.
Take it the distance.
It's a foot race. He's got a man on him. He doesn't have support yet. They're trying to catch up with him. They do, and that bounces off the hands. That's devastating for the Gold with that opportunity they had in front of them. Could not follow through on that pass.
Yeah, but credit to Dion Mikesell there for chasing Carl Dine. If you watch where he comes from, Dion Mikesell just makes an incredible defensive play here to track down Carl Meyer, to make him turn the ball back into the inside of the field and enforce an errant pass.
Might have saved the game for them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that was a dagger if that was a try.
Yeah,
Look at Mikesell catch it. By the way, Carl Meyer, don't let the size fool you. 6'3", 235. This guy runs a 4.55. He is very fast.
So you see, Carl had to go on the inside. Carl Meyer had to go on the inside. He was looking for that pass, doesn't make it. Free Jacks ball in their own backyard.
Right, you would like to have seen the New Orleans support players to get closer to Carl because he's made the big run. He's coming at full pace. Maybe Nick Feeks could have been a little closer to him there.
That's why support's so important. You want to have options when you have that ball, and Meyer ran out of options. Wasn't able to turn that one around.
So the Free Jacks have new life, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Running hard here, sucking in defenders, dragging them with him too, getting a lot of room after the contact.
It's a good tackle by Cam Falcon, getting into the ground real quickly, slowing the ball down.
Leave it. It's a ruck.
Our official, Jamie Nuttbrown, counseling. That's another loose ball, but going to get blown back.
Knock on from Gold in the tackle.
Knock on.
Knock on Gold in the
That's a
tackle.
good look at Nick Feeks, who just came back last week. Here's a replay.
This is going to be called a knock on against Gold for that. See, the ball comes out.
So what happened is Nick Feeks, his left arm came into the tackle and punched the ball through. So it's a correct call on the knock.
Attempting to tomahawk that thing a little bit.
That line out was beautiful from the Free Jacks. It's what we call a back peel off the back pod with the 12 striking down. Very creative. Josh Smith, like you said, Scott, a grinder, a guy who's been around rugby in Boston, UMass Lowell, Mystic River. But he's got some interesting attack strategies here, which I love as an attack coach.
Gold player has taken a knee here. That's getting a little attention.
Cam Dolan, that looks like.
That's Cam Dolan.
Cam Dolan. I mean, that'd be another big guy. I don't know what we'd do there.
Well, let's see. It looks like they're just giving him a little attention, getting a little breath. He's staying on the pitch.
Hey, back to the coach, though. I love his style. Like he said, he's grinded it out his entire career, and now he's the head coach of a Major League Rugby team, and he deserves every bit of it.
Right, and kudos to the ownership and CEO Alex Magleby for staying local with Josh Smith. He's a great coach.
All right, we're coming into the final 6 minutes of the match here, at least by our clock. Free Jacks need to find a score if they're going to stay with this. NOLA Gold, they can find the try zone.
And Ian, as it gets closer to that 80-minute mark, you may just see them go for a penalty goal to get the bonus point. But they're looking to win this football game, this rugby match.
And with ball in hand, they have every opportunity to do that. The ball is moving quick through their capable backs. Nice big run there by their 8.
Going to use the weak side here, Ian.
Another loose, wild flying ball, but turns out okay for the Free Jacks. Back up the middle. Kane Thompson looking to strip it away. Brings him to deck.
I don't think he was expecting that.
I don't think anybody was. Lucky break to hold on to that one. Looks like it bounced off his chest back into his hands. Running along the side, had some room to work with.
Just recycle it here, Ian. Just work the phases. Bodine Walker's got some great feet.
Some good ball retention here too by the Free Jacks in contact.
Yeah, but they're not really going anywhere. They're a little disorganized, Ian. You want to John Poland's going to slow it down, set the ball up, see what we can do. They can, you know.
Yes, indeed. He's looking for opportunities. He's got to keep the ball moving, of course. But he wants his backs to be in good position.
Now they could use this. There's some space out there if John can get this out.
Looks like they do have numbers out wide.
It's a good ball.
Yeah, certainly do. They're exploiting it. Nice little line there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Ball was loose, but not looked like that came loose was forward, however.
Wow, they're getting really physical.
We got a penalty, but you know, great as again, John Poland, he sees that the offense isn't really churning and getting anywhere. So he takes a little snipe down the blind end, puts a little crafty kick through, hoping he can create something. It didn't work out for them, but it was actually the really right decision. Unfortunately, there was a high tackle.
2 players down right now, 1 for each team. That's Julian Dominguez for the Gold. He's shaking up a little bit, and the Free Jack player.
Yeah, so he's picking that up. Yes, that was right around the neck.
Yeah.
And any AR or any ref who sees that's going to blow a whistle at the very least.
And that was Quentin Newcomer, who was a newcomer to this match. He wasn't even on the roster when number 1 got sick. That was Tolu Fahamaki.
Is he gone? Is he?
All right. Well, this is the guts time of the match here. 3 minutes or so on the official clock. Unknown what's on the ref Jamie Nutbrown's clock, but can't be too far off of that.
Holding on, it's over 9.
Fatigue plays a huge part in the game at this point, and you can see that after some of these big hits. Players taking a second to get up. From that line out of maul that keeps mauling.
Yeah,
just keeps rolling.
Stagnant a bit there.
Stops here. They're going to have to use it if they're going to keep possession.
Taken in Gold. Blue 4 comes straight through the middle.
So basically, Ian, once that maul stagnates, you've got to get the ball to the 9 there. Once it stagnates, just get the ball on your back hip, put it on your glute, and just let the 9 strip it off you. That's a costly error there. It's by New Orleans. I mean, they had a good go forward ball off the line out. You know, you just got to get that ball to the back and let the 9 take it once it stagnates.
Yeah, that stagnated maul was, I believe, the undoing of the Gold in their meetup with the Legion last week.
Right.
So the maul, very effective play, but
and like you said, we know New England wants the W, but the bonus points all count at the end of the season. If they can score another one, they get that. They already got 1 bonus point for the tries, and now they want another one to go with the, obviously, to get within 7 points.
Well, it's still time on the clock here, and ball in hand for the Free Jacks. Look out. They are attacking.
Looks like we got a new halfback in penalty to New Orleans.
Furious little flurry of attacks there by the Free Jacks, but a little too much mustard, perhaps.
It looks like Malcolm May got the poach there, stayed on his feet and held on to the ball.
Malcolm May, who was out with the torn Achilles last season. He was the season before. He missed a lot of time as well. So it's good to see him back in the mix. And I've said this before, but we know his uncle, the great Mark May, on the Washington Redskins Super Bowl teams from the 80s. And good to see Malcolm back in the mix, making some big plays at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he's a real young kid. You know, he's still got some growing pains to go through at the high level of rugby, but he's very physical and very fast. And he's young. He's 24 years old, and he's got a good future ahead of him.
Great Nittany Lion as well.
After a really good kick there, NOLA Gold in a great position with their line out. If they can secure this line out to take some more time off this clock and perhaps provide the dagger for this match.
Speaking of Italy Lions, the Free Jacks.
Ball is loose.
Free Jacks
There's
jumpers.
Malcolm May with the ball again.
This will probably do it right here.
Clock is winding down. NOLA Gold's ball. Driving on the try line.
There's Doc Irie.
In it hard. What they can't do now is give up possession.
That's the ball game.
Need to.
There it is. The NOLA Gold get their third victory, and they continue the trend. One loss, one win, one loss, one win, one loss, and now they get the win. And unfortunately for the Free Jacks, that is their fourth consecutive loss after that impressive opening win against Rooney in Las Vegas to open the season.
Well, Scott, not the prettiest match by any standards. It's going to be a lot of teaching points for both teams at the end of it. But for fans, I think a highly entertaining match. You had your good old-fashioned slug them out kind of tries right there at the try zone, and you had some big wide open plays. You had some takeaways. Great game to watch, and very lucky for NOLA Gold to come away with this against a very formidable team, the 31-22 victory.
No question. Obviously, that big play by Cam Dolan kind of was the seal, but this is a very competitive game. Hey, we're going to come back and talk about this game right after the break. You're watching Cox Sports Television. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Tulane Institute of Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the NOLA. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Rob's AC, the official heating and air conditioning company of the NOLA Gold. Mention the NOLA Gold next time you need a unit service for a 10% discount. Tulane Institute of Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the NOLA Gold. Also by Rhino Rugby, the official ball and equipment provider of Major League Rugby. And by Cox, true fans watch together, celebrate together, and sometimes even witness history together. Cox gets you closer to the teams you love. Cox, bringing us closer. Here's the final score brought to you by the Tulane Institute of Sports Medicine. They do such a great job. NOLA Gold 31, New England 22. By the way, Ian, it was 17-14. They took their first lead. I've talked about the Free Jacks, and they had another one. John Poland scored with the 56th minute, 22-17, but it was all NOLA Gold after that.
Scott, we saw so many different ways to score here. That's why this game at the end was very gratifying to watch and to call, frankly, because you saw those close those close tries right up there with the big boys up front, with it zapping it across the line or grinding it, dragging defenders. And then you saw those orchestral tries through the hands of the backs. Kudos to the Free Jacks on that. They really looked like they were going to carry this game when they came out in the second half, just swinging and racking up some points, taking the lead. But kudos to NOLA Gold, and especially to the bench. Jeff, you said it earlier. They needed this team has not been the best down the stretch, but today they pulled it off.
Right. The 16 through 23 really came through today. You saw Kevin Sullivan came into the game pretty early, about in the 50th minute, and made some big runs up the middle. Malcolm May, big runs. Cam Falcon, big runs up the middle. They started getting go forward ball, and that's what created the space out wide for them.
They call them reserves. You can also call them finishers. And they certainly did finish it today.
By the way, kicking matters. They had 5 kicks at the NOLA Gold, 4 conversions and a field, and there were 4 misses by New England. Hey, for everybody here, Ian McNulty, great job. Also, Jeff Ormsby, he's the technician over here. He knows everything about rugby, but hey, the cameras, Dwayne Thomas, Renee Champagne, Josh Smith, and Rick on the handheld. Hey, Tim Fanguy does such an amazing job producing. And Jeff Watts, thank you for pinch hitting him. My man Freddie Worstrom up here, Christy Smith, and for everybody at Cox Sports Television and the NOLA Gold. 31-22 Gold. NOLA Gold Rugby on Cox Sports Television is brought to you by Tulane Institute of Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the NOLA Gold. By Boomtown, the official hotel and casino of the NOLA Gold. And by Cox. True fans watch together, celebrate together, and sometimes even witness history together. Cox gets you closer to the teams you love. Cox, bringing us closer.